So today I thought that I would share with all of you a trip that we did on Royal Caribbean, where one of our ports of call was Port Canaveral, Florida. I know that a lot of times when people are searching for things to do, the one thing that people say not to do is Disney World. Well, guess what? We did Disney World. I've always wanted to do Disney World as a port during a cruise, just to see how it is. Because I know a lot of times people are like, how much time did you have in port? Were you able to get anything done? Was it worth it? And so those are some of the things that I am going to try to share with you today. We did this back in June 2023, so it was almost 2 years ago. But I believe that the process is still basically the same, but I'm going to share through videos, photos. There's timestamps on the photos these days, so like I can see exactly like when we did the things that we did. For our itinerary, I believe our cruise left on a Friday. Out of Bayonne, New Jersey. So a lot of times these cruises come out of the Northeast, out of like the New York area or out of like Baltimore. And so ours left out of Bayonne, New Jersey, which is basically like New York or right across the harbor from Manhattan. So we left on Friday and we stopped in Port Canaveral on Sunday. The cruise time based on the itinerary says from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m., which seems like a whole lot of time. Like people book this cruise like, okay, yeah, we should have plenty of time to like go to the parks and like enjoy ourselves or whatever. But basically, you don't get that full amount of time. We were docked in Port Canaveral by 1:02. So we were there by 1 o'clock. But when you do a cruise excursion through Royal Caribbean, you get like this envelope in your room when you first come into your room the first day. And so our little cruise ticket let me know that our meeting time for our excursion for Disney World was 1:30 p.m. in the Royal Theater, which is deck 4 forward. So we got to the Royal Theater about 1:30, and they gave everyone a sticker, a little yellow sticker, I believe, to let us know which group we were in. Because in the theater, it wasn't just Disney World Express Transportation. And let me just tell you, when you buy this excursion, it's only for transportation to the park. You still have to buy your own tickets. So I bought our tickets ahead of time because I didn't want to waste time in line trying to buy tickets day of. In the theater, there was transportation for Disney World, there was transportation for SeaWorld, and there was transportation for Universal Studios. And they all met in the same theater and they called by groups. Around 2 o'clock is when they started gathering people up to go out to the buses. And I think for Disney World, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't think people really do those excursions. There were like 4 full buses of people just going to Disney World for that excursion. So a lot of people do these excursions when they go on cruises. We get on the bus around 2 o'clock.
Sister ship, the Wonder of the Seas, parked over at Terminal 1. That one is homeboarded here. It goes out every Sunday for a 1-week cruise.
We went through the arches of Disney World, like the welcome sign, around 3 o'clock. And so the buses, they take you to the Transportation and Ticket Center. So anyone who's familiar with Disney World, when you go to like the Magic Kingdom, you don't get to park at the Magic Kingdom. You park at the Ticket and Transportation Center. And then like you would like get on a tram that takes you up to the gates where you can buy tickets. And then you can also take like a boat, like a ferry boat or a monorail over the Magic Kingdom. We took the monorail once we got off the bus, and I took pictures of the bus so that I would know which bus we were getting back on. But spoiler alert, we did not get on the same bus, and they didn't all look the same. But they all had a sign in the window that had like the Royal Caribbean like logo, and it said Disney World Express Transportation. So that's how you knew which bus to take going back to the ship. And they let us know that those buses were going to be leaving to go back to the ship at 7 p.m. to be back. because you didn't want to get left. The whole reason why we booked this excursion was so that we would have the cruise line's excursion, which if it's late, if it's traffic, they will wait for the excursion and they will wait for you before they take off, because they could just leave you in Florida and then you're stuck trying to get to your next port of call. So we had to be back to the buses by 7. So right now it's probably around maybe 3:15 by the time we're getting on the monorail. And we took the monorail to Magic Kingdom. We already had our tickets booked. We already had magic bands, so getting into the park was really quick for us. And when we came into the park, the Festival of Fantasy parade was happening. And so it was like bonus. We get to see the parade while we're walking to get on rides. Um, and I mean, like, I stopped to take pictures and look through the shop windows and everything like that. But we quickly made our way down Main Street to the hub, where the castle is. And of course, even though we're in a rush, we have to take a castle picture as a family, especially because I bought these shirts that said best day ever. I can't get it right. Best day ever is what these shirts said. And they all had different Disney related characters that we'd all picked out that we liked. So it's already 3:30. We have to be back at the bus by 7. We take our castle picture and then we start to head to rides. We used, back then it was Genie Plus, now it's Lightning Lane Multipass, but we used the Skip the Line service, or at least the Fast Pass, go through the Lightning Lane service. For some of the rides, we also used DAS, which was Disability Access Service, and we did standby lines. Standby lines are just get in the line and wait however long it says it's going to take you to get on the ride. So we used all 3 of those to do rides this day because we wanted to do as much as we possibly could in the time that we had. I decided that I was going to pre-book some rides when we got into port. Back with Genie Plus, you could only do stuff day of. Now with Multipass Lightning Lane, if you don't have a Disney Resort reservation, you can pick out things 3 days in advance, which is awesome now. So possibly even before you get on your cruise, you could pick 3 rides and pick the times so that you'll have those set. And if anybody watches allears.net, they found a way to stack lightning lanes. So you could possibly stack lightning lanes for your family to get more rides done, if that's something that you're thinking about doing. And also now there's something called Premier Pass, which, I mean, if you have the money, you can ride each ride once. You don't have to pick a time. You just go up, scan your either magic band or your ticket or whatever you use to get into the park, and then ride the ride, and then you're good. So if you can afford Premier Pass, go ahead and go for it. Otherwise, you should be able to at least pick 3. Watch allears.net, see how they stack lanes, lightning lanes, because there is a loophole. At least as of July 2025, there's still a loophole that allows you to stack lightning lanes, so you might be able to get more done. So anyway, we went to Barnstormer first, and we were in line for it at 3:50 p.m. We did Barnstormer, got in line by like 3:50. I think we were off the ride by 4 o'clock. And so it's hot. It's June. If you've been to Disney World or Florida during the summer, you know how hot it can get. So I decided to go to Cosmic Rays while my family got in line for teacups. I don't care for the teacups, but they love them. I think we go every single time we go to Disney World, we get on the teacups. So I go to Cosmic Rays to go get free ice water, 6 cups of water. Well, I think actually we got water bottles, so I was able to refill our water bottles with the ice water from Cosmic Rays while my family got on teacups. And by the time I got out of there to go see my family, they'd gone on the ride once, got out of line, got back into the standby line, and got on again. So, 3rd ride of the day for the family, Barnstormer to teacups. They're off teacups by, I don't know, 4, I think they did teacups at around 4:08 is when my husband did a video with one child in the teacup. And then around 4:16, they're on it again. And they did this by the standby line. And so then we decided to now do our first DAS pass, which was Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at 429. So we're on the fourth ride of the day so far. Not doing bad. And we got, of course, the ride photo. We get the ride photo because we bought Genie Plus. Now it's Lightning Lane Multipass. But if you buy Lightning Lane Multipass, you get Photo Pass rides, ride photos for all your rides that day. So that's a plus for booking that. So we did Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at 429. And then 443, we use standby line and get on Journey of the Little Mermaid. So we do Little Mermaid ride. Okay, so I believe that's ride number 5. Barnstormer, Teacup Twice, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Little Mermaid. 5 rides that we've done so far. And then we had a dash for Space Mountain. And then I believe we had a dash for Buzz Lightyear. So we did Space Mountain. Then we did Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. And then we had a Genie Plus / Lightning Lane for, because these are our favorite rides, Space Mountain again. And then we get another Genie Plus / Lightning Lane for Space Mountain. Is that right? Okay. However it is, we do Space Mountain twice. And we do Buzz Lightyear twice. So we've done that. And now we're at 6:04. We have to be back to the bus by 7 o'clock. So we've done those, and I am able to get a Lightning Lane for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And we're cutting it close. But we really want to get on. 6:25. We get on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So we do Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and we're like, okay, now we got to head out the park. But before we get on the bus, it's like, okay, people have to go to the bathroom. And it's like, we need a little bit more water. So right past Magic Carpets of Aladdin and Jungle Cruise and Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, right over there are restrooms. So my family goes to the restrooms, and there's a like quick service pickup like snack location. I'm able to get free ice cold waters again for all the family. Fill up our water bottles so that we can have water for on the bus. We're going back while they go to the bathroom. Do that. Book it out the park. We're cutting it close. It takes probably 10 minutes, I think, on the monorail to get back to the transportation and ticket center. So we get up to the monorail. We just missed one. Great. But there's not one. It's not too long before like another one shows up. So we get on the monorail, get back to transportation and ticket center. As soon as we get off, my husband runs towards the parking lot, which is like once you get out the monorails and go down the ramp out to the left where all the buses normally are. So he goes over there so that we don't get left. Literally walking up to the bus at 7 o'clock. We are the last family to get on the bus, and it's the last bus. Mind you, I said there were 4 buses. Other 3 buses have already left with everybody else. We get on the bus at 7 o'clock and head back to Port Canaveral to get back on the ship. And by looking at my notes, 8:30 p.m., we are in the main dining room eating dinner. That is how our day went at Magic Kingdom for that excursion. So, how much time do you actually have in the parks? I'm going to say you have about 3 hours because we were in the park by 3:30. That's the timestamp when we were on the start of Main Street seeing the Festival of Fantasy Parade. And right around 6:30 we were leaving to go back, and we cut it really, really close. 3 hours. So that's how much time you would actually have. How many rides were we able to get done using a combination of Genie Plus, which is now Lightning Lane Multipass, Dash Pass, and standby lines. We were able to do, let me count it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rides. 10 rides. Like, we had a really good time. Is it worth it? For us, it was. I don't know that we would do it again, but we really had a good time. Like, it was probably our favorite port for that entire cruise. And truthfully, we tend to just really enjoy Royal Caribbean ships more than anything. We don't always go for like the ports, but since we could do Disney World, and I love Disney, like Disney and cruising, those are my things. I mean, look behind me. Those are the things that I like to do. Those are our favorite two vacations for our family is to go to Disney World and to go on cruises. Last year we did 2 weeks at Disney World, and maybe I'll do some vlogs about what we did during those 2 weeks. But it was so much fun. Yes, it was hectic. Yes, it was rushed, but it was not our first time at Disney World. It's something that we've done before, and I love to plan. Whether it's worth it or not is dependent on your family. If you're the kind of people like us that like would love to see how many rides you can get done in that amount of time, it might be worth it. I know some people talk about how much it costs to go to Disney. And yeah, 1 day tickets can be a bit pricey, but like there are people who spend a lot of money to go to the Super Bowl for a game, for a couple of hours. Very pricey. But if that's your jam, then it's worth it for you. Or a Beyonce concert or a Taylor Swift concert, or, there's several things that cost a lot of money for a couple of hours. And if it's something that you really enjoy, then it would be worth it for you. So whether it's worth it or not is something that you have to decide for yourself. Our family, we loved it. Kids loved it. We had so much fun. So it was worth it for us. I hope that this information is helpful for anybody who has been considering trying to go to Disney World during their protocol in Port Canaveral during a cruise. And I hope you liked the content and the videos and the photos. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to like really vlog it, and I'm still kind of new to this, so I'm trying to piece things together as I go. If you have been thinking about doing Disney World as an excursion during your cruise, I hope that this information has given you a better idea of the time constraints and what you can and can't do, and some ideas of if this is something that you would even want to try to do. Thank you for watching. These vlogs are made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.